been waiting for. We've kind of done things in reverse today. Usually I'm doing my intro and going out fishing, however, this morning I had to go out fishing first. It was an early start for me and I was really keen to hit the coast. It's all been delayed this year because we've had some really interesting weather. One moment it's been sunshine, the next rain, and then hailstones and high winds in between, and the coast hasn't cleared out here. It's still very murky, which has put the bass fishing behind. However, this week I took delivery of some new lures, and it's a replacement for one of my favourites for bass fishing, and that's the Savage Sandeel. Now, this is the V2 version. It comes in a regular and a weedless option, so that covers most of the marks that I fish straight away. As for design, it's very similar, no drastic changes, slightly different head profile, a little less prone to getting caught up. I think a better body material, the plastic's a lot tougher, and it uses a really smart pro peg system, which I'll explain later. Anyway, armed with these new lures, I had to get out and hit the coast, and here's how I got on. Oh, here we go. As you can see, that schoolie certainly approved, and you might have noticed that there was a little tweak on that Savage V2 Sandeel. And what I've done there is I put an underspin blade on it. Now, I think it's a confidence booster, probably from my pike and perch fishing, but certainly when fishing murky conditions, I like a little bit of extra flash and a little bit of vibration. So a screw-in blade, or just a clip-on blade works absolutely great for me. It boosts my confidence. I think definitely it bought me an extra couple of bites today and really helped in landing those fish. When I'm retrieving these lures like the Sandeels, I'm not jigging them aggressively. I like to use a pulsing, slow retrieve. So I'm working them back, pausing and stopping them in the current. Nothing too aggressive. Less is more quite often with bass, and in some locations, just winding them slow and steady works exceptionally well.
As you can see here, I'm casting the lure out and giving it time to sink. Once it's sunk, I'm pulsing it back with small movements. The great thing about the triangle-shaped head on the Savage Sandeels is that they dart through the water. Each movement swings it from left to right, giving it a really erratic action.
Certainly feels a bit better. Ooh. There we go. Now this is what we've been waiting for. Oh, back that drag on. It's gonna run. surf. Sandeel V2. Yes! Wow, that big un certainly approved of the V2 Sandeel, and didn't he put up a fight? At one moment I had to back the drag off as he was pulling away, and I felt like the gear was almost maxed out, and it's sturdy gear. I'm using a 9'6", 15 to 42 gram Salt CCS rod, and it's an absolute gun. It's quite soft in the tip, which is nice for all kinds of fishing, but it's got plenty of power down below. Paired with an Akuma Pixar 20-pound braid and 17.8 fluorocarbon, it's an absolute powerhouse, and that fish was really pulling back on that. Bass fishing's exciting, I just can't wait to go again. Certainly, one thing I really like about these V2 Sandeels is the Pro Peg system, which I mentioned earlier. Now, in the past, with the keepers you get on standard jig heads, you're chopping and changing your baits, or they're getting pulled around the shank, you're having to glue them on, and it gets quite irritating. This Pro Peg system is really simple, and it's very kind on your soft plastics. You can use them time and time again. Quite simply, you thread it onto the hook, slide it up, there's a little groove, and your peg just drops through there. It's made of wood, so it's easy to replace, like a little cocktail stick, and you're away. Ever so simple. A few other bits and bobs that are worth getting if you're heading out to the coast this summer bass fishing is maybe a set of waders if you want to mess around in the surf for a long day. Your legs do get quite cold, but once the summer months hit, it's not too bad. Dry bags are great. Saves your gear from getting wet with those rogue waves, and you do get clocked by a couple. And I like to use a little pan net. I find it's just easier and kinder on the fish if you can net them and have something to give them a moment to recover in before you slip them back.
So there we go, my first bass session of the season. And it wasn't an easy one. I kept casting and casting. But if you do that, eventually everything comes true. Until next time.